Today I want to go over pagination. So first thing let's do is let's import useState. And let's create a page and a set page. And let's start it on the first one. And then what we're going to do is this is our path. So if we have jsonplaceholder.com/todos, that this part is going to be the to-dos is going to be the path. And let's just go ahead and console log page, and let's make it so that if we want to load more, we're going to on click set page +1. Okay, so let's also specify a per page, and let's set it to 5. All right, so we have our path, we have the page that we want to be on, and we have the amount we want per page. So think about it like this. If we have 33 to-dos in our database, and on our first request, we're going to get our to-dos of 1 through 5. On the second request, we're going to get 6 through 10. On our third request, we're going to get 11 through 15, all the way until we get to 26 through 30. And then once we get to 30, we go 31 through 33. Now, the difference between all these is we get 5 here, we get 5 here, get 5, and we only get 3 on this one. And so with per page, what per page option here does, we do per page. This is the same as per page with key value. Just a shorter way of doing it is by just putting this here. But what this does is it says on that last bit, when we get 31 to 33, if we do not get exactly 5, then we have just run out of to-dos to get. And so if we increase the page after we ran out of to-dos, we don't want to rerun the request. We don't want to create another fetch request because we've already gotten all of the data that we can get. So let's just save this and check it out. So we have our first 5, and then we're on page 2 now. Oh, I see what the problem is. So notice how we don't have anything in our dependency array right here. We need to put the page in there. That's what re-triggers this to run, just like useEffect. Okay, so we have our first 5 that we fetched, first 5 to-dos for page 1. Now we're going to do page 2, and we loaded our next 5. Page 3, we're going to load our next 5. All right, now let's pretend like we are out of data. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking our current data, and I'm just taking, instead of spreading all of the new data on, I'm going to just spread the first one, which means that, let's say, current data is equal to 1, 2, 3. And then our new data is equal to 4, 5, 6. And so what I'm doing here is I'm saying updated data is equal to, on the third page, we're going to say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then since this is the third page, instead of adding 7, 8, 9, we're just going to add 7 because that is the first item of the third page. Basically faking running out of data on our backend. So we have our first 5, that's the first page, then we have the second page, which is 6 through 10, cool. And then we do the third page. Okay, cool. We only get 1 item. Now that we're getting 1 item instead of 5, we know that we're out of data. So you can see here we have page 2, page 3. And if I click this, it doesn't matter how many times I click it and it increases the page, it's not going to trigger another request. Why? Because the amount of the data, which is 1, does not equate to 5. So because it's less than 5, that means that we're out of data. And so it's not going to rerun the request. That's what the per page part does. And then this on new data, what it does is whatever you return from on new data, it updates our state within useFetch. So basically our to-dos. We're basically going to replace the state, similar way that Redux handles it. So we're going to spread our first 5 to-dos, and then we have our next 5 to-dos, and we're going to spread that onto the end of it, and we're going to create a new state with this. So basically what this return does is it essentially sets state, but within our useFetch. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, just post in the comments. Thanks.